Hello everyone, how are you? I'm just going to wait a minute now, so if people want to log on and whatever. I'm trying my laptop today, so we're going to see if that works any better from yesterday. This is all a learning curve for me, so whoever's the other end, the cooking is a learning curve for you, the computer side is the learning curve for me, okay? So today we're making pancakes. And these pancakes are in my Just Looking cookbook. For those of you who haven't seen it yet, it's called Just Look and Cook. I have another one out that we'll be using another day. It starts off with a shopping list, and these are all detachable and they come out. So maybe for kids or people with autism or whatever, you can bring them to the shop. And this is how it's laid out. Sorry now. So it's laid out. The first page is all your ingredients that you need and your utensils you need. And after that, then we're following it step by step. So our first step today is a mug full of sugar. So I'm hoping now that you'll be able to see what I'm at. So we're putting in a mug full of sugar. Sorry, a mug full of flour. Silly me. A mug full of flour. Now, 2 dessert spoons of sugar, because these are sweet pancakes. Okay. Now, 2 eggs. Now, if you're not used to, I'll actually do it. If you're not used to breaking eggs or your kids aren't used to breaking eggs, I'm going to break them into the cup first. And that way, if a bit of shell or anything goes in, it's there, but you don't have to do that. Okay, that's only if you're learning how to break a shell. So a nice crack, and in you go. So there's our eggs. Now, the next thing is about half a mug of milk. I'm using full fat milk now, and that's it. So we're I'm hoping this is live now. We are beating this now, and I found if you beat it a bit extra, it just gets. I like fluffy pancakes. So we're doing a nice little beat here. Now, sometimes, or depending on your mug or depending on the day of the flour being extra dry or a bit damp, you might need to add a bit more milk, you might need to add a bit more flour, whatever the day, you'll know when you get used to it. So this is quite thick because I like thick pancakes. Now, if you were making crepes out of this at the end, like my darling son David, who likes his crepes thin, I wouldn't add more milk, I'd add another egg because I like mine to be nice and rich. So do you see that? It's still poured in consistency. So we're lighting our gas. I'm not so used to this gas now, so I hope we're all right. Now, you can use butter or margarine. I'm using butter, but butter does burn a little bit easier. So you might have to maybe have a napkin or something if it starts going, not a napkin, a kitchen roll or something, and just give it a little wipe if it starts going black, because once your butter burns, your pancakes will taste fine, but they'll be blacker. So if you want to try with margarine, if you're finding butter is burning on you, so what? I've actually stopped using margarine for everything. So I'm just looking here. Yes, in my book it says margarine, but that book is out quite a while. So I've changed my mind since then. So you're waiting for your pan to sizzle. You can hear the sizzling there. And we're just making three little small ones, okay? 1, 2, 3. Now this is where the people who are fiddlers find it really hard. If they get stuck together, leave them alone until they're nearly cooked. Don't be here trying to, because they won't separate now for you anyway. So we're going to have to play around with this, and you'll find you have to play around with it because it gets hotter and cooler for whatever reason. So I'll show you now in a minute. You're leaving them alone until you get bubbles. People will be laughing that go to my classes. I do cookery classes, and mostly they're just looking cook quick and easy ones. But I go, stop, get away, wait for the bubbles. So you'll be hearing my voice now in your head when you're making the pancakes. Wait for the bubbles. So we're holding on here. Oh, sorry. I always use self-raising flour. This way. It's the opposite. It's like being in a mirror. Self-raising flour. Because as I said, I like mine fluffy. I would love to know if there's anyone on, but I don't actually know how to see that. So we'll just have to wait and see. Okay. Now, a little lower, starting to just burn a wee bit or get very hot. Bubbles just starting to appear now. Have a little peep. Oh, looking good, guys. Okay, so can we see the bubbles? Oh, I'll try and get it here now. Hold on. No, it's not working. How do I get at the camera? No, I have to move it down. Hold on. There. Can you see the bubbles? Okay, now. So, back up. And we're turning. Turning. Now, if they land in the wrong place, just leave them alone for a minute. Leave them alone for a minute. We want the bottom to make a little seal, okay? Again, it's just a little bit of patience. See how these are looking now? Oh, they're looking good, aren't they? So the bottom, because we waited for the bubbles, the top is cooked way down. So we're only going to be a little minute waiting for the bottom and we'll be ready to rock the next one. We would have these most Saturday mornings with the fry. Or not a fry. We don't do a fry, we do an oven fry, if you know what I mean. Now, and here we go. Here we go. There's one, there's two, and there's three. Now, so we're back to square one. Another bit of butter. Melt it on. Now at this stage, it's starting to get a wee bit, the pan is getting hot, so you need to just be careful. And again, we're going 1, 2, 3. I just see this gadget on Facebook when I'm scrolling down, and it's a red yolk, and you can put your tiny little perfect pancakes into it. But I like mine. I do call everything I make rustic, so that people know it's home cooked. I don't want them all to look perfect and the same and uniform, like if they're made in a factory. So we might make one smaller one actually at the end. So we're back on. We're waiting for this. Hello, Carmel Burke, good woman. Now I know I'm live at nothing else. Are you off work, Carmel, or are you working? A few more people say hello to me and I know you're there, so that I'm not here all on my own. My husband is redundant today. He was on the back of the phone yesterday, and he said I didn't give him a shout out. So his name is JP, but today I'm on the laptop and it seems to be working good, but we'll see when we come back to it. So I just lowered that maybe a wee bit too much. Our bubbles are starting to come again. And here's our bubbles starting to come. Oh, how will I do this? Hold on. There we go. There we go. Now we're getting it. There we go. Can you see the bubbles? Okay. And turn. Have a little peep at that one. That one's done. So for 2 eggs, you're going to have maybe about 12 pancakes. So we're going to keep going anyway. That shake. Oh, now you see, if I was on my phone, that would be Eileen gone. So, good deal. Hello, Deborah, how are you? Glad to see I'm not alone. Hi, Chris. Not at work today. Oh, lazing about. Are you in bed? So, you know, this, if you have kids in college, you know, they mightn't always have 2 eggs, but you know, and the deal in my house is if there's a few here, whoever cooks, The other one washes up if they eat. But actually, that's not my motto. Is if you're going to have kids cooking today, are you listening, kids? If you're in there, you have to tidy up after yourselves. Oh, the Lord save us! Here we go. Hold on. Now you see, the P was feeling left out, so he said he'd have to get a little job. Right? You better hold on here now in case it decides to go off again, Chippy. That actually is our little Chippy was in the shed. So usually he knows breakfast is ready when the alarm goes on. Isn't that right, Chippy? We have it set up specially. Okay? So look at the pile of pancakes we're making from 2 eggs. And we're on the last one. Now, what do people like on the pancakes? Personally, I just like butter. Mind you, I was somewhere one day and I saw someone with chocolate on them and I had a little try and there's nothing wrong with it either. I'd be amazed when Pancake Tuesday is coming and Super Value and all these places and they have a whole stand and there's marshmallows, which is here from yesterday evening, and there's chocolate and there's this and there's that and there's the other. But there you go. I like butter. You can have maple syrup. You can have bananas. Do you know actually what was really nice? A little bit of ice and sugar. Now I don't have it with me today, but just a little sprinkle of ice and sugar. Now we're all done. A little sprinkle of ice and sugar, and here we are. Look, they're browned on both sides. Try again. They're browned on both sides, and they're lovely fat little pancakes. Do you see? I like my fat little pancakes. So let's have a look and see how many we got. We'll put this out of the way and not burn Eileen. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 1, 2, 5, 6, 11 pancakes, guys, out of 2 eggs. Okay, so that's me done for today. I will come on again tomorrow about the same time and we might do some French toast. What I would really, really love is some photos of what you're doing up on my Facebook page. That would be really, really brilliant. I'm not sure if you can put them straight up. If not, send me a message or you maybe can put them up on Eileen Curran's table. Eileen Curran, Facebook. So, okay, I'm done. Myself and my husband are going to have our breakfast. Of course, we're not having our breakfast. We've been up for hours. Shh. We're going to have our breakfast. We're just going to have them with butter. And away you go. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. God bless. Keep safe.